My name's Jay Kogen. I was a writer and producer and tiny bit part actor in The Wrong Guy.
I'm David Steinberg, and I was the director of The Wrong Guy, a movie that I'm yet to be able to understand. I'm hoping to be able to follow it as I watch it this time.
Maybe if you'd been in on the editing, that would help.
And I'm Dave Foley. I was, I was going to say the lead character.
That was my credit.
I'll just say the star. I was the star, and one of the writers and producers of the movie. And David Steinberg forgot to mention he also has a small part.
That's true.
As a man.
That's a Hitchcockian cameo, because this is, after all, somewhat of a satire of Hitchcock, would you not say?
Yes, I'm David Higgins. I am in the film, as well as I play the part of Detective Arlen, as well as one of the writers and producers. So let's go. First comment, I love the credits.
Credits are great.
Yes.
You know, actually, Dave, I wanted Joe Pesci for your part. but we couldn't, and the guys were so hot on you, but it worked out good. You were really good.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Pesci turned out was not available.
Yeah.
But
Although,
otherwise, we're right behind you.
Well, he didn't even take my call. It's not like
I
There's
just
our
wanted
credit.
it.
that was the executive
But
producer.
for the first several weeks, we did tell David that you were Joe Pesci.
That's true.
Now,
That's why he kept calling me Joe.
Lawrence Schrag did the music to this, and he did a great job. It
He
was
did do a very good job, yes.
very Hitchcockian here, very...
I just
there's
also
us
love this
again.
Rankin Bass kind of this feels like a 60s detective filmer.
we did
like an
the
old
musical
Hitchcock.
score to full orchestra.
Now this is, you may recognize this location. Dave, take it away.
This would be, I forget the name of the building. It's in Toronto, in that same
It's a
area.
bank building,
It's a
but
bank,
it's
yeah.
used in a lot of films as a futuristic place, and it's...
And you could tell they're Canadians because they walk so slowly.
That's very true.
Morning. Big day today.
All right.
Hey, fellas. Today's a big day.
I don't know. Do we have to keep talking
No,
all
we
the time?
No.
Just whenever we feel like it.
It's obnoxious enough.
Good morning. Big day, huh?
This was, I remember that we...
And this was at a totally different location. This was at a police station in northern Ontario.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Big day for me.
But we had a good time. We filmed the entire movie in Canada.
And she was the cutest girl in the film.
Yes.
I don't know how that worked out, but
Yeah. I remember flirting with her. Didn't really pan out.
it didn't pan out, did it?
That's my friend Mike Wilmot. That's the gruff guy.
Gotta go. Hey there. Morning to you.
We shot this entire first part of the movie in sequence because we just wanted to make sure we were setting it up right, because we were going to take off big time. And also just about the music. That was a battle, if you remember. Every time we wanted the music very seriously, Bernard Herrmann type Hitchcock, and Lawrence did an incredible job of that. The studio, of course, said, "Where's the
It's
funny little-
comedy. Where's the
where's the
ging,
goofy,
gong, ging, gong?"
goofy sounds?" Yeah.
Boing.
Get it right.
Now, you did the whole thing also about color in the movie. Isn't it start out with the colors here are cold and blue starting out, and then
Like
That's true.
the
That was
correct.
part of, yeah.
later on they changed somehow. I've not seen the whole movie, so I don't know. But
You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Now this man coming out is Kenneth Welsh, one of Canada's premier Shakespearean actors.
You may recognize him from The Freshman. He
Yeah.
wasn't he the
Yeah.
father?
He was the commando guy in the freshman. And there's a thing that didn't actually make the cut of the movie. We had to cut out. But his first day on the set, we filmed him sitting in a chair, naked, masturbating with his back to camera.
And he got so excited with that it carried him all the way through the rest of the movie. It was like
Yeah.
it was his favorite scene, and he loved doing it, and he just kept on thinking we're going to do it
he
again.
was rehearsing that scene actually for days after we shot it.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
A little insight to the Steve Hibbert, the reference your name.
Yeah, Steve Hibbert is our good friend, and we named my character after him.
And Ken Daly is a very
played
good
by Dan Redican, very very dear friend of mine.
Is
Is a friend of mine.
and mine.
And mine.
I don't really know
Isn't
him
he?
that well.
Yeah, no.
No, you did.
But Ken's my friend, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Depends on what you could do for him.
It depends on what Ken thinks, but
Yeah.
we'll talk to him.
I'm good in this scene.
Really good.
This is the one good scene.
My God, man, I am engaged to your daughter.
Yes, but Daly here is engaged to my favorite daughter, Daphne.
Now that's a great.
That's a good joke. This is like Ryder sitting there.
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Very
oh,
good
we
joke.
wrote a good joke there.
Am I the only one who can't hear the movie at all?
I can hear it.
Oh, there it is. There, I had the volume down.
Hibbert, listen. Ken Daly is the new president. you didn't really think you were going to get it now, did you?
Yes,
Oh, another little note.
Yes.
Where I sit down and I jump up and then sit down again. On one take, the chair, unbeknownst to me, slid away from behind me, and I did the classic gag of sitting down on a chair that wasn't there.
I remember that. I remember that.
That was sweet.
That's too bad we don't have the additional footage.
And I landed on the concrete floor and.
That made it in Canada's greatest unreleasable bloopers.
Yes.
Yes.
I like this moment where you go little nuts.
I swear I will kill you.
Security. Restrain him.
Oh, you are dead to me, sir. You are dead to me. Only reason.
You're really digging a grave here for yourself.
We also remember we toned that down for Disney.
Yeah,
That's right.
Which why now?
Right. Do you remember what that
in
original
retrospect.
line was?
You fucking.
You fucker.
You fucker.
fucker,
That was,
yeah.
you fucker.
Because that was my
right.
line.
Yes.
That's
Fucker's
right.
one of mine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a trademark in all your work.
Yeah.
He just goes, "You fucker,"
You fucker,
and that
yeah.
was it.
Remember
And
that.
then he went on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nice cut.
I love the crying.
This was like one of the first scenes we shot.
Yes.
You cried.
Yes.
Crying was the first day. Very
Yeah.
good day.
Yeah.
The cruelty of these people.
Yes, right.
Loving your pain.
Much like us.
Yeah. Your throat. I remember you really hurt your throat this day.
And the crying. Yes,
Yeah.
we did a lot of. There was a lot of crying that day. I commit 110%, which is 10% more than is actually possible.
Tried to contain it.
Sound effect gang. Coming up in. There
Really great news.
The button take is so
Also
long.
yeah.
It only pleases me.
A lot of these things that go along with these takes are things that I think only please us.
That may have been
get
why the film
anybody
wasn't
else.
released here.
Yeah.
I must say the most fun of this was that we did every version of comedy imaginable. You let the audience know what you're going to do.
Right,
They
right.
know it's coming,
We
and we
telegraph
do
it,
it.
we
Telegraph
didn't
it, and
telegraph,
enjoyed
yeah.
that. So it had to be long, and then sometimes we don't do that. But that was great.
It does include. There's physical. There's.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Somebody said that we do a joke that you would expect. Then we do a joke on that.
Yes.
Then we do another
Correct,
joke on that.
Correct.
And I love your walk. I love this turn.
Yes, this is great.
Just the way you took it wide.
Yeah.
I used to know a guy that did that. We
Banked
thought
on
his
the
head was
corners.
too heavy.
Do you remember?
Our first transsexual.
Yeah.
Yes. This person playing the secretary is a transsexual.
Yes.
Right.
What's her name? You know her.
I hired her.
Yes, without knowing.
Without knowing, because she was the sexiest woman of the group that came up. And I only found out when we were going up in the elevator. Isn't that right, Dave? Remember you
That
told
day,
me?
yes.
You said it was so
Exactly.
bold
Yeah.
and courageous of me.
It's Dana Brooks. Dana Brooks.
Dana Brooks.
She was wonderful.
And
She's
actually,
a
was
very
very
good
good.
actor.
They both
I've got
won.
something I want to get off my chest. Your treatment of me is completely unacceptable, and I just... Would you stop staring at me like that? Okay? Because the point still remains, how dare you? How dare... All right, fine. If that's the way you want to play, you want to play the staring?
The staring game. Took a-
Okay, I can't say it. All right, big man, you win, all right? The
Canada's greatest actor.
Many of Canada's greatest actors were wasted in this film.
It's true.
It's true. Very true.
It's true.
Okay, look, maybe this was a bad idea.
And then.
We didn't have very many extras.
No.
No.
This is. One of my favorite things in the movie coming
Mine
up.
too. Mine too.
But that was. That was also part of it. The saving money from the very beginning. Yeah, trying to put it back in.
This, putting
Gotta
it
put
back
it back.
in is brilliant. What? That was not.
If
That
I
was
could
not
just-
scripted.
Right. If I could.
Dave, you're.
This is the first day of shooting, and we didn't have enough extras.
At the outside.
Right. Right.
But if you don't laugh at this scene, you're not going to laugh at the rest of the movie.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
the previous scene.
Yeah,
That
so-
is.
It's to be hoped that you've already watched the movie and you're watching it a second time to get our glorious commentary.
Correct.
Yeah, you'd be a
So-
fool to be watching it now.
Oh,
for
we'd
the
be
first
interfering
time.
with everything.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
We would hate you for watching
Right.
this without commentary.
And again, the music is never comedic. It's only supporting the story, which makes everything that Dave does so much funnier.
Yeah.
I agree.
Really, so
Although-
Well, we all agree that's the problem.
Although I did bring my trombone and plunger mute today.
That's true.
good.
We can Mickey
We
Mouse
could
it a
use
little
that. We could use that.
You notice it's the same 10 people all day
Right.
in the
Yeah,
office.
yeah.
bit. This was the weirdest scene, I think, of the whole movie.
The elevator scene, you mean?
No,
just,
no,
just
just
the
getting
frozen,
into
it.
these frozen
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember how much discussion we had over this scene?
because it's
I thought we should just suspend belief and have them
right.
do that.
No, it makes total sense, and I
Yeah.
think it works. But I don't know what else we could have done. But
Right.
and yet this is nothing like life would be.
No.
Well, it could have been an empty hallway.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
And this
Yeah.
this elevator scene was always so much funnier to me than ever anyone else.
Well,
Really.
also, we had that hold the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
this is a great joke that people don't get: is that everything's so well timed that this pops
water
out.
pops
right?
out for no real reason. That was
Yeah.
Dave's. That was David Steinberg.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, here, Colm Feore
Brilliant
as the killer.
American-born Canadian actor.
yes,
Yeah.
American-born
Landed.
Canadian.
Landed Canadian.
But despite that slight taint, still one of our finest Shakespearean
Now, by
actors.
taint, you don't mean the body part.
No. I actually mean taint in the medical sense.
Okay.
And Colin remember, he was always worried that he didn't have a sense of humor.
I love
Oh,
the
and he's brilliant.
fingerprint here.
And it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Also, there's a funny anecdote. Your assistant back there in the corner.
Yes, Lewis.
Lewis. It was our first day of shooting, and I'm yelling at Lewis, saying, "This is not a film about the guy in the beard in the elevator." And no one on the set knew we were joking. And so it got very quiet.
Colin Feore used to, used to practice with some sort of weaponry all the time.
He
and
loved
Yes.
he loved
And
all the weapons.
kind of threatening us with them, which scared me
Yeah,
often.
he had all sorts of zip knives and things.
Yes. So angry.
Yeah. Another gag we lost was it's there. There's a guy here. You'll see. This is my least favorite shot in the film.
I know this bothered you so much.
This bothered me a lot.
But
But
it
know
works
it's
with the
funny.
sound effect.
it works fine.
I
but-
believe that it absolutely works.
Well,
works
here,
fine.
you'll see how slow this thing moves.
Oh,
That's my
right.
problem with it. Here we go. Slow.
Oh, it looks fine.
Yeah.
You were.
Without the sound effect, it was bad.
Yeah.
With the sound
well,
effect.
But see this.
I love it. It works
Yeah.
great.
That's Dave Higgins
that's
criticizing
just
something
my
that
own.
doesn't need to be criticized.
That's
Correct.
why I'm
This is a
giving it
lovely-
to people. It's
this
behind
is-
the scenes.
Right.
A lovely little crane shot by Dave Macon, our
Oh, Dave
director.
Bacon was
Our-
wonderful. But you know, you're sort of negating my skill as a director when you say that went too slowly because I didn't know what any of it was, even that thing on the mirror.
Right,
So
that's
there
all
was
it
no
is.
speed limit
Right,
for me.
exactly.
And when you were discussing it,
Well, and
the
also we
animation-
noticed every stunt in Canada was so slow.
Yes, that's
Every
right.
car moving, every.
Well,
It's the opposite of Hong Kong.
Right.
It's like
yeah.
they need a stuntman for this scene, just for the walking.
Now look how slowly the cars will pull up. There they go.
Now we do have the shot where the guy goes across that.
Right.
We storyboarded
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, this is.
Here.
We had a bunch of other
This
things that
ties it all together.
Column's character was going to do, was click together a
That guy was,
crowbar.
that guy was going to be looking through
Right,
brochures,
that's the shot.
travel brochures.
Right.
Yeah, we had Colin putting together a lot more things.
Right, crowbars and keys, things that
Right.
need to be put together and snapped together.
That's
Right.
true. Snapping the keys.
But I
together
love
for-
this. This is a
Yes,
great
this was fun.
Acme gag. Yeah.
Classic Warner Brothers cartoon.
Yeah.
gag.
Right.
It's not how it looks. Oh, what's the use?
And now you know what my character's thinking.
Right.
Here we go.
There we go.
No,
Yeah.
not really a manhole.
There's the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beep beep. Where is he?
Because Colin Fiore's character is a master of disguise.
It's true. Mm-hmm. He had it all well prepared.
Now, we had this huge crane that I'd asked for almost every scene that we had, and I hadn't used it for anything. So I thought we're going to use it here.
Well, good
Yep.
use of
And
it.
and this was a gag that we had to fight to get in the movie.
They didn't know because they couldn't afford the boat.
Right.
Yeah,
They didn't want-
They
Right,
didn't
they
want a
didn't
boat.
want the
That's what I'm
boat.
saying, and this
Where
was
are we
day
gonna find a
2.
bridge?
Yeah,
A
right.
boat.
They said, "Can you do it in a car?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Throw it over the bridge and see that." That was, it was great fun. Well, I don't like to talk over. I guess they have to.
they've
They can't
seen
be
this
doing it
already,
the first
yes.
time.
No, this is
No.
their second time
Yeah.
doing it, David.
You know, if the first time they were listening to the commentary, then they're
There's
big enough-
Dave Higgins.
Correct.
They are
All right,
film
that's
geeks
me.
and they deserve
Shh,
what they get.
that was me.
Oh, and there's
That's me.
Richard.
That's Dave Higgins.
Yeah, Richard.
Dave. Yeah. And there's Richard. There's Dave.
Let's roll the tape back and see the actual killer again.
God, I'm good looking.
No, you're the other guy, not the security guard.
This killer is one tough customer. Tough to catch. Look at him pull himself into an air. He's been working out for months. Maybe we should let the feds handle it.
Sir, unless you cross the state lines, this is a local map.
Richard, his name is
Chevlo. Chevlo.
yes. He was on Bogey's Diner. That was one of his
Boogie's.
credits.
Boogie's Diner.
Boogie's
yes.
Diner, yes,
Diner.
yeah, Canadian show.
Now, listen how Canadian this person is. Listen.
By sophisticated hidden surveillance cameras.
So why wasn't anyone watching the Nagel office monitor at the time of the murder?
We've found it better not to watch him when he's alone.
All right, get ready for it.
Okay, here
This-
comes Ken's favorite scene.
This is the scene. This is where you would have seen
Right.
Ken Welsh
Masturbating.
on a security camera masturbating.
Yeah, this whole movie was really well edited by Chris Cooper, who did a lot of the Kids in the Hall and edited Brain Candy. Great guy. Amazing job.
So that
editing
we
this movie.
released here in the United States.
Yeah, they wouldn't release it if we didn't change
Right.
that.
Right. We changed that, and then they still didn't release it.
Right.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
Bastards.
They're bastards.
yeah. Maybe they actually said if you do change that, we won't release it.
Maybe
that-
we
that could be-
misunderstood.
Yeah, we misunderstood.
Maybe we
That was the
didn't.
problem.
We
Yeah.
didn't have any
Yeah.
good communication with them. It could be.
Yeah. Coming up is a cameo by a group of Canadian musicians. That's the first one. Stephen Page, the Bare
Better
Naked
known
Ladies.
now. Better known now than
Nope,
when
no,
they
right
made
there.
the-
Okay,
You
remember?
just broke your ankle.
Yes.
right,
No.
yeah.
No.
Sprained.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was
we made sure we used the take that he hurt himself
Yes,
because
correct.
we thought, why waste pain?
He actually sprained his ankle on
caught-
the way in.
Remember, Dave always did. Dave did 3 perfect takes of jumping into that.
Right.
And-
But was so needy and insecure that he had to do one more and broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Literally, and we had to shut down for a week. right?
I believe what I said was, I think it's funnier if I get more extension.
Right.
And I did, and I dragged both my ankles down the length of the bin.
Nice.
Which
And
I
here
didn't
we-
understand because I thought your hair
And
was
here's the
long
Bare
enough.
Naked Ladies.
Yeah, Bare Naked Ladies, who wrote this song for us
Wrote the
wrote
song,
it.
recorded it in a day, and performed it the same day they recorded
Yeah,
it.
they flew in, yeah.
on their day off from their tour.
Yeah, right. They were adorable.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
great.
And remember all that stuff where they're where Dave's running out of that big building and Colin's flying across. Remember that was one day too.
That's right.
Yeah. But, and everything coming up now, after
was
the
me,
bin,
by
That
the
was,
way.
that was
me announcing.
That was Jay's
Jay-
voice.
Jace, right.
the, but all the other scenes, these next few scenes, I did with a sprained ankle
That's right.
Yes, right.
that night.
Right.
Security cameras. What's the point of pulling an inside job if you can't get inside information? Now we'll have to switch to plan B. You remember? The one we only use if something goes terribly wrong? Yes. And I'll need double the money. I'll have to spend the next couple of years out of the country. Meet me on the 23rd, 12
This is
noon,
what you
Mr.
call
Titus.
exposition.
And don't make me switch to plan
This is also right by our studio that we shot our interiors at.
Yeah.
And the studio, which is some kind of warehouse, wasn't really.
Yes,
a
but they
studio.
also shot that
Vampire
Dark
movie.
Knight. Yeah,
Yes.
that Canadian series about the vampire.
Right.
Yes, I forget what it was called.
Where he was a cop.
Yeah, he was a good vampire.
Yeah.
And now I think it's a popular American show with the same theme.
Very popular.
Yeah.
Forever Night.
Bare-
Forever Night.
The
That's
Bare Naked Ladies were great.
the other thing. Our recording studio, oddly enough, was built right next to the train tracks.
Right. we would have to stop filming for the train.
Constantly.
And you could hear airplanes in the studio, which
Yeah.
is supposed to be a soundstage.
Dave, was it built for the silent era
I'm
originally?
not sure.
It actually was built for a canning factory. It wasn't
Okay.
really, you know.
I always like this call too. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Nelson, your fiance.
Also, we'd shot all the others, the other side of it, and we
Right.
didn't show any of them. We
Yeah.
didn't
Yes.
use a single one.
Right.
But at this point, she was making love to a man while we heard No,
At
they
this
just
point, no,
they're
no,
just
no.
being
Later.
comforted.
Later.
Right?
Comforted about the death of her father.
Yeah.
My way to Mexico, where I will remain until I can prove my innocence. But until that time, I am a fugitive from the law.
This was a reshoot, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because it was out of focus?
No.
Something.
What?
Crappy performance by Foley?
Bad performance.
Yeah.
I like alley cat going with an empty can.
No, that was Foley.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
all
sure of it.
Foley.
No one-
Yeah, Foley wrote that.
No one
he
could have
said-
pulled that off except
And we also
for
love the
Foley.
tin.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
It
word
was an
tin.
empty tin,
Yeah.
which
A kid-
Americans find
No.
fascinating.
Tin.
Yeah. This was his code was 1, right?
Right. It's a very dumb code.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the kind of detail that I remember I just wanted to move on. Who cares? Just
Right.
as something. And remember, Jay kept on saying, no, we got to do it exactly.
Right.
As
Thank God.
I wasn't, yeah. It wasn't at all annoying, was
No,
it?
no,
yeah,
no,
I
it was,
thought
but it was the right
And that
thing.
may have been the difference between release and non-release.
Right. He comes up with a great idea that he can be identified
By
through
his
his
credit
credit
cards
and
and says
everything.
throw them
And
away.
this is also another one kid's
It's a picture.
a picture of him.
I love that
And
picture.
he saves a picture of himself.
I remember you
at the Mexican restaurant.
taking that picture.
Yes.
And that was just,
That was
just
right.
that picture was the dumbest
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
This is a joke that I think only I like.
No, this is a good joke. But
Skits
remember, I like how fast it comes, actually.
Yeah.
Is everything all right, sir?
This is the joke no one laughs at.
No, they don't get it.
There's nothing to worry about. This isn't my blood.
Right.
Which I love.
I
Oh,
do
that
too,
joke.
but I'm saying nobody else likes that.
Yeah, and you're talking about, the next
one.
gag.
Yeah.
Next gag.
No, the
visual.
next is fine.
This
That's
gets a
fine.
laugh.
This is, yeah.
No.
I love this.
It's a play on, of course, a play on quick cleanups that we get in movies all the time.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, who's
Better,
this?
we better stop.
Quiet.
now.
Quiet.
Yeah.
He's doing a crossword puzzle.
Yeah. This was staged.
That
for a
wasn't in
big
the stage
scene.
direction. You
No,
that was improv.
I did that myself. That
was
me.
improv.
That was all me.
This was your first.
It's my first day
This is
shooting.
your first day shooting.
Now, Dave, you lost about 100 pounds since then, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's
If,
great.
you,
You
if
look
you're just
great.
listening to commentary, yes.
Yeah. Me too, by the way.
Yeah.
I've lost a great deal. When you see the bus driver later.
Oh, right. That's
Yeah.
coming. You're coming
Sprained
up.
ankle.
You're coming
I
up,
have a
yeah.
sprained ankle there. Can barely walk.
Right. And Alanis Morissette's one of the extras in this.
Yeah,
That's
right
right
there.
Yeah. Actually, it's not, but I thought that'd be good.
Yeah.
That's actually, that was our joke of the day.
Was it? I was.
I like this too.
Yeah, it's good.
There you go.
Now, we were supposed to be from Cleveland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're starting in
Quiet,
Cleveland.
quiet. You may
Okay,
recognize the
Here's
jazz.
the voice. The jazz.
That's right. Dave is the
jazz
jazz
radio.
DJ.
Right.
DJ. Shh, quiet, quiet.
No, we should.
All right, you can talk up to this point.
Commentary. That's the whole
They,
point.
they will have seen it once.
Yes,
before.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
I'm just explaining.
It still
You
bothers
might
you.
want to hear it.
It's exposition and
Yes.
it's funny.
But look
Yeah.
at this shot. Look at
This is a good shot.
This
Yeah.
is a great
This is
shot.
beautiful.
this is the hardest thing to figure out. Never were sure about this.
The music helps everything here too.
Not everyone understood that
No.
he's seeing
Well, that's the
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
We don't
I don't
wanna
think.
know
I don't,
yet.
this
Everyone-
right here,
yeah,
yeah.
people
here's
get
here's.
it.
Well, you can't see it in this. Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
It's
a
darker
mirror.
here than.
See, it's
normal.
like a mirror. He wasn't
Mirror.
looking out.
But
right?
I don't know. I don't think people ever got that.
No,
I,
every screening I've been to, people got it.
Oh, they did. Okay,
Yeah.
goodness.
This was supposed to be a temp track too.
Yeah, it was the.
So
temp
was
track.
No,
yours.
it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
This was a temp track.
Jay
we were
told
going
you
to
it
get
was a
somebody
temp
else
track
for
so you wouldn't
yours and for
panic.
this.
They've told you that so we wouldn't have to pay you, but the point was we were not going to get anybody to do that
right.
funnier.
Yeah.
That's true.
Here comes a problem.
Oh yeah, right.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
we had a lot of
because-
trouble with this actor.
Because
Yeah.
it's just unrealistic. It's just that's all.
Oh, nice.
You never see a bus driver that young.
I'll tell you what you don't see.
I have a great gag for this
don't
one. I'll
see-
tell you this backstory.
You don't see guys
That's
in
Jay
uniform like
Kogen.
that. That's
Yeah.
me, Jay Kogen.
It is not Jakey Gleason.
That was my idea of the uniform. I knew that if you weren't in uniform, it would look
It
like
would never pay. It would
yeah,
never come
like
through.
one of the customers took over the bus.
Right.
Here's another joke I like that doesn't really get a laugh.
Broken branch, the ditch,
Yes.
Right.
Right.
tire. I've been driving this route for years.
See, Cruz
Also,
is that
this
small a town.
where you let him get so far into your space.
That's what's good. These commentaries are good to explain the jokes.
Yeah. But you know what? In real life, people do let people get in their space. People just freeze.
Right.
But
it was a proposed town.
What's horrible is this is just like watching the movie with us.
Yes.
That's true.
Now, the great gag I liked was the bus driver. The guy wasn't going to let Jay move the bus at all. He goes, "Hey, that's a $70,000 bus. I don't think you can." And Jay
Unless
said,
you want to buy it.
right, and
So
Jay
like-
said, "I certainly could buy that."
No, I
please."
did not say that. No, he said it was. He didn't want $70,000. He said that's a $20,000.
It was so ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, and this was our homage that got cut.
Yeah.
Right, we had a
the
very
good guys.
long Goodfellas.
Goodfellas walk all the way through, and I mean, really, the only reason they were there is because Dave Higgins, who's now married, of course, but
Yes,
at the time
it was not married.
wanted to go to a strip club and wanted to see strippers, basically.
Yeah.
And we do have alternate takes of her naked, which are lost somewhere.
Well, just
I have
without,
Without the
pasties.
pasties.
yeah.
Which I wish we had.
Yeah.
You know, because no one wears pasties.
Right.
Except the Jumbo's Clown Room.
I know.
Right.
But, you know, having come from yeshiva as I have, I was comfortable
Sure.
with the pasties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I couldn't embarrass the actress. That's why I'll never be Scorsese or anything.
That's right.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is a great shot.
Yes,
I love
I remember.
this.
This was fun. Would you guys stop saying that was an improv as if the director had because it isn't in the script?
I just want to say right now for the record, David Steinberg was there for most of the days of shooting.
Well, I got tired at 5, but everyone got.
Almost all, I'd say 80%.
Yeah, I'll get
No,
one.
he absolutely was marvelous. What's great is if we didn't have a comedian, a director who was also a comedian, we never would have gotten any of these jokes. They all would have been
That's true.
completely
That's very
ruined.
true.
Yeah.
They all would have been.
Because a lot of them are very subtle.
I know. It's just like
Except for this one. I love this.
that's the subtle joke. Right?
Yeah. And again, there's a whole scene cut after this that was very funny.
Right.
Oh,
but
that would
we
be
cut that for time.
That'd be
though.
great to have
time.
as additional
yeah.
footage.
That was a great scene actually.
Yeah.
It just
Now,
didn't
this-
work.
Which included one of my favorite gags was the idea of smelling a house and saying, "Do you have cats?" and she doesn't.
Right.
Right.
He
Now-
just smells urine.
Yeah.
Well, we have all these scenes. Hopefully we can.
You have them in a
Yeah.
vault somewhere, right?
I do in Toronto.
I have
Yes.
them in the first cut of all these things.
No, but I mean, I literally have the. I
has the
bought the,
footage.
negatives.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
great.
Yeah.
Did you buy the
What was
bus?
her name?
No,
Maria
I did not buy the
Vakratza.
bus.
And this is another gag not everybody gets is that the company runs so smoothly without Nelson.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Correct.
And they don't realize he's even gone.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the whole thing that happened in the forest was Dave's character runs into some crazy old lady in the forest who he thinks is going to help her.
Played by Maria Vakratza.
Yes.
Who was wonderful. She was
Yeah.
just wonderful.
She makes him clean the house and paint the house and do all kinds of stuff, and then she winds up serving him twigs.
And mice.
And
The
mice.
mice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the problem with the mice. I think were the problem.
Yeah.
Well,
Here,
it was called
Dave-
Squeaks and
Squeaks and
Twigs.
Twigs. Right.
Yeah.
Here, Dave luckily finds a car.
Which exactly matches the description given by the
Right.
police of the murderer's car.
Right.
One of those
Well-
Hitchcockian coincidences.
No, it was it's the murderer's car.
It is the murderer's
Yeah,
car.
he
yes.
dumped it because he heard the
I
description.
was being subtle.
He did. He said.
Yeah.
No,
And there's
it'd be
another thing.
weirder if
I
it
wanna-
wasn't murder.
Yeah. It is the murderer's car.
You can't see it in any of the shots, but the Canadians, every time we would shoot an exterior, would put an
Flags.
American flag out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that's how I identify films shot in Canada.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll see American Eagle on the.
Oh, this is one of my favorites.
This is a great scene.
Oh,
You
this-
may
this
recognize
coming
this
up.
guy.
Kevin McDonald.
Yeah.
Ken McDonald.
You might recognize Kevin from Kids in the Hall.
Yes. And this scene was about a third of this length
Yeah.
before Kevin and I started
Started
just
to
playing
improvise.
around.
This is so funny.
What? I'd like a single room, please.
Now, how long have you known Kevin?
I've known Kevin about 19 years.
And you first met him working in a movie theater? Is that it?
No, I first met him at Second City Workshops.
I see.
My very first Second City Workshop, we were randomly paired up to do a mirror exercise together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And
If that hadn't happened, you would have never done anything together.
that's true.
But then you wound up like doing.
The end of that class, he asked me to join his improv team, and that led eventually to the Kids in the Hall for
That's
me.
cool.
See, this is an example of one of those jokes that has to go this long.
Yes.
Yes.
If you cut it any shorter, it's just so.
Trust us, we tried.
Yeah.
We tried to cut this joke
I
short.
didn't try.
Const-
Hillman. Hillmanton.
Christensen Hillman.
No, I can't remember, but did Dave Allen help us write this particular joke? There's something about Dave Allen. Maybe we thought Dave Allen might play
No,
this
it was
guy
the
or
kind of thing that Gruber would do. But that was off of like more.
So
I think I came up with that name.
stole it from
You
Gruber.
came up
Well,
with
I came up with the
Calic
Calic the Hillman.
Right.
It's the idea of the guy making up the bad name, and he's
Yeah.
so bad at doing it.
Right, but if you didn't
And
have
he keeps scribbling.
But if you didn't have Kevin there, it would just be a straight guy
Right.
Yes,
doing
would
it, so you
have.
wouldn't have gotten that long.
You would get
the
that.
interplay.
Not
like
at
getting-
all.
Right.
Well, you noticed in the
Getting
bus
in and out of
station.
each other's-
I mean,
Yeah,
you
right,
noticed
all
in
that
all the other
stuff.
Yeah.
interplays.
We also had a scene with Mark McKinney, another Kids in the Hall, that was cut out of the movie.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's not as good as Kevin.
because it was time.
Oh, right, the time.
No,
You had
Mark,
to
it was
shorten
very,
the
very
film.
funny. And
But he's really not as good as Kevin.
no, I disagree with you.
What?
I
Oh.
think they're both delightful and wonderful people.
I love them both, of course. Go
Well,
back
they're
to enjoying the
They're
movie.
your partners.
Yes.
Well, we know how Dave Foley treats his partners.
It's true. You guys aren't as good as me either.
I know you wouldn't think he'd be so vain, but he
No,
really is.
really, yeah.
He thinks he's
It
Paul
was enough.
McCartney.
It was enough being the cute one of the group.
Right,
He has to
right.
not piss on them.
Of course,
Yeah.
look at that group.
Yeah.
I was
And
gonna,
look at our group.
I remember one of the prerequisites was to get Dave an address somehow.
That's true.
Which is something that Cary Grant always insisted on.
Which we did, yes. I didn't know that.
Prerequisite only from Dave Foley. I think he was the only one who insisted.
We did try to do it, though. And
Yeah,
we wrote a
yeah,
whole
as well,
scene.
yeah.
That we never even shot that. That was a whole scene in.
We got
in
a scene that we
drag
cut
bar.
out before the final script,
Right.
Yeah.
which was the idea that he actually did very well as a drag queen.
This is, by the way, the first time I've ever appeared on camera without a shirt.
I remember how
And subsequently, you've
Open you
appeared
were to
bare
do.
ass naked.
Yes, I am. Yes, I've moved on.
again, just the way Lawrence Schrack keeps on nailing these things.
Right.
Yeah.
In the music.
And again, originally it was shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Shit.
right,
wasn't
Shit.
damn.
Shit.
Yeah, right.
Because, you know,
And that's
This is very well done.
right.
yeah.
This is
this
this is
beats-
where you get to be
John Woo.
No, John Woo.
John
yes.
Cock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here comes.
Well, John Woo with the
Oh,
dive
yeah,
and the.
yeah.
Look at that beautiful shot.
John
Look at
Woo
the
on a
can
budget.
With the cars.
Right.
Because you're not just seeing the close-up of Colin.
Well,
you're
and
seeing
also-
the establishing shot of the
Right.
police cars arriving. That is
Right.
beautiful filmmaking.
Now it's very nice, and also you get the it was the only available high-speed camera in Canada at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's other
It
films being
runs
produced.
at 26 frames a second.
Yes. Yes.
Did we miss the part where you come out with the towel on your head?
No, I'm right there.
No, but I mean, wrap.
Yeah, that was we were talking
You were
over.
talking about
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That made Jay and I laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like these guys.
I also love the running gag of the woman.
Dave Foley constantly called a woman.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm. And if you check out my basket right now,
You'll know.
in these pants, you'll know I'm no woman.
Or you're a woman wearing some sort of prosthetic device.
Yeah.
This is another one of those. How do we get him out of this?
Right.
That was the
People
hardest
freezing.
choreography to figure out.
This is the real. There's a real Jerry Lewis quality to
Yeah.
people frozen in time
Yes.
when the comedian is doing something.
Well, whenever I was in trouble, I couldn't figure out how to get him out. So look how
Well,
slowly they
we,
took.
we added the loud door closing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
we did. That's right.
To try and signal that the tension should be switched. There's John Woo.
Look at them squibs fly.
Now this is also,
And no one's chasing Dave.
I always hated this gag, and it always gets a laugh, and it
this-
always makes me angry.
Because
The serpentine
Serp-
running on the.
yes,
yeah.
but Serpentine's a reference to the in-laws. So
Of course.
Yes.
comedy people know it. So
Yeah.
No,
Right.
but we didn't.
We didn't
weren't
plan it.
referencing the in-laws there.
No.
He was just running serpentine, for God's sake.
Well, every time I did it, David kept shouting,
Serpentine shell."
Yeah.
Serpentine.
Well, it's not in the movie, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Another good stunt of
Colin
Dave
loved
Foley's
it.
coming
He
up.
loved those guns.
Yes.
Right? No,
Yeah.
He also loved kicking the door
Kicking the door was
closed.
so great. That's
yeah.
very good to remember that.
Now
It's true.
this is coming up as something I had to fight with the stunt coordinator and the producers.
Yes.
Yes.
To let me do.
And again, we agreed.
And
We
you.
used
Yeah.
we used the take that you did.
Correct.
Even though
Yes.
We had a stunt
Well,
man.
Right.
But the crazy thing is the compromise was okay. The stuntman will do one.
here's my
then
point.
you'll do one.
yeah,
That was
I want to
insane.
show. I want to
Make
show
any
something.
sense.
This is where Dave Foley actually is Dave Foley and not
Right.
acting.
Correct.
It is the
Because he's
scariest.
scared.
It is
Right.
terrifying to
Yeah,
have a
right.
train go past you.
And
like
you were
that.
and you felt the wind sucking you towards the train,
Yes,
right?
I did. I almost got pulled off.
You are
that
not
thing.
Nelson Hibbert here. This is Dave Foley.
Yeah, I felt like I was gonna fall
Yeah.
off that thing. But here comes the gag.
Well, they've seen it before, but that's really Dave.
That's really Dave Foley.
He
yes.
really hurt his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another. I just love that this whole sequence. I love. It's
Yeah,
like
Right,
I love. There's no dialogue between here and the end,
yes.
almost the end of the hospital stuff. There's almost
I
no
love
dialogue.
that. That was so
And-
great.
Yeah.
And the other thing about this, for those of you who know about production, all this train stuff, all of it was done in a day. I don't know if you know what it is to move a train back and forth to get takes.
Oh, they know.
Yes.
They all know
Yeah.
what it's like to move a train.
Yeah.
I just learned that day.
Yeah. Who doesn't know? This
and
great
this gag, I don't feel I ever really pulled off for you guys. The one,
Well, I think it's still funny.
Oh,
the one where you're
worked.
sort of dragging.
And he
bumping
could have.
it.
He
Yeah.
didn't have to
Well,
run.
we couldn't
he
really
didn't have
do
to
it.
run.
Yeah.
He could have just walked up to
Correct.
the train.
That was a great.
That's
Right?
the gag.
Am I right?
That's the joke. He
That's
didn't
the
have
gag.
to. If he had just waited.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, we really couldn't play you being dragged
No,
because we
right.
just didn't have.
We did-
we
right.
couldn't follow with the dolly
And-
or anything.
Correct.
And I was doing this with a cast on my ankle.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was.
And coming up, another one of my favorite gags.
Oh yes. And the inexplicable appearance of our.
Right. He got away, but he
got away.
chased you.
Now,
Yeah.
you all argued with me about that. I wanted that shot.
Right.
You did not want him to be there.
I don't still don't think it makes any
I know,
sense.
but I like it. It builds the suspense.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It
And,
still doesn't make any
And
sense.
by the way,
though.
this was not an intentional reference to Scott Thompson.
No.
That was on.
It's the only cleared name we could get.
We couldn't.
He is
clear
not
Thomas's.
a canned ham.
Yeah, we
No,
could
no,
not.
no.
Right.
No, we couldn't clear.
Oh, the best was we couldn't clear Johnson's.
Oh well, wait, don't. Yeah, wait till we
Yeah,
get
don't
to
give it away to the people who've already seen the movie.
Yeah, I'm saying make it pertinent.
It was raining so
This
much.
was
so
Yes.
hard.
This did not match that it was raining and yet
And yet,
it was sunny, but yet.
I love that he won't give up the point. That's another one of our.
yeah.
Yeah, Dan Redican, who's
Very
a,
funny
Yes.
actor.
who is a great Canadian comic actor.
And that guy's actually born in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the amazing thing.
And he was a member of a group called the Frantics, which were a group that
Be quiet,
predated-
everyone.
Oh,
Dave,
shh.
this is Dave's scene again.
Oh,
He did this somersault thing onto a squad car while shooting.
And now look at the back of my head. Look at that.
Right.
No bald spot.
No, that's nice.
yeah.
I like how the police are all obsessed with his acrobatics. That's all.
Yeah.
Pulls
Can't get
himself
over
up. Pulls himself up. Oh, you could bet.
Also, I had to grow the growth because I looked too young on
right.
film. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have that problem anymore.
Not
do you?
anymore.
Yeah, no.
Unlimited, huh? Jimmy.
Here's Kevin in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a real trooper.
Yeah, trying to steal focus.
Well, we did all this in one day, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Now we told him that he was on the scene and we mic'd him. We pretended that it was
Yeah.
his scene, but
Yeah.
oh,
That's a great.
this is
Come on, tainted hand.
come on, take it in, and it's just a big bite out of one hand.
Right. And I actually wanted the giant hams that they have down
Right.
here. They don't have them in Canada
No.
or even here in Los Angeles, probably.
Oh, and here we have one of the little gems of this script.
Yes.
Dave Sponge.
What?
But he shot it very well. The director shot this very well.
Yeah. And
That was nice. Nothing.
Now and we got.
yeah. And this actress is really good.
She was good, yes.
Gina Clayton.
Right.
But this was almost shot incorrectly. Do you remember?
Yes. Yeah.
I was like.
Well, what happened? Say it.
Well, we
What are you-
almost
what are you
lost the
waiting
gag. You'll see this gag. He's
Right.
trying to pull the name off. We couldn't. They showed the shelf.
Yeah. It was
Right,
too.
right,
It was
right.
too wide.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see.
And
The shot was too wide.
yeah. We weren't allowed to use the name Johnson's.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Johnson's wouldn't let us use
Mr.
it.
Johnson, because
Right.
Johnson said they didn't want their name associated with enema bags.
Right.
Right,
Even though they
right.
make them.
Yes.
Even
We
though
said-
that is
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
fact
We
their
just
product.
don't want to be associated that we sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We did
So we-
suggest they perhaps
Right.
discontinue that line.
Right. So it became Simpsons or Jones or
Yeah.
something.
It's Jones, yeah. Enema bag Jones.
And then we
I also love that you tried to pass yourself off as her.
That's her. Yeah.
That was also very.
And also, we essentially do the same joke twice in a row.
Yes. Same joke.
And it works.
That's what I mean. Doing it too much is also good.
Also, we also do a third attempt at it in the truck later.
Correct.
Now, as a director, how did you prevent them from shooting it wrong? What was the
I
wrong?
just wouldn't give them the coverage.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah, and especially in the scene coming up next with the hangers.
Mm-hmm.
That's cameras in one spot. It doesn't go in for a cut.
That's true. Yeah. No.
And everyone was saying to me, "You have to get it. You have to get it." I said, "No, some of them will want
No,
it."
we almost lost it. It just didn't work right. They were going to
Yeah.
shoot it in the wrong.
Yeah,
We couldn't show him a wide shot. You didn't
Yeah.
want to see it. It had to be him grabbing a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming
thank
up is
you,
one of
David.
the coming
Thank
up.
you, David Steinberg.
I was
for
there too.
saving that
It was
joke.
also I was there with.
Thank you, David Steinberg, for saving
David
that joke.
But Dave Higgins
David
was.
Steinberg
Now wait a
really
second.
saved that joke.
Coming up is one of my proudest moments in the movie.
That is a great moment.
This was a great little.
This is really good. Yeah.
This was
Improvised on the
set.
fly.
Improvised on the fly.
The director didn't suggest it either.
That's one of my. I love. That's
I saw someone walking with this downstairs, right?
Yeah.
And then we just brought it up. Is that what?
That's
I think
right.
so. This is what I mean. This is where I didn't want to cut back and forth.
although this scene
And
was.
also, if you didn't know, behind the
scene-
scenes, this guy was a giant.
Yeah.
You know, remember that? He comes in to play
huge.
Dave, and it's supposed to be a little old man, and he's this 7-foot tall elderly gentleman.
Yeah. But also,
You can't.
Jay
tell.
Jay is in the corner of the room.
Yes.
Laughing his head off
Yes.
for this whole scene.
This was really hard
And
not to laugh.
and if you look closely, you'll see me start to giggle.
Oh, this take is just perfect.
It's so funny.
That is sad.
Oh, man.
Right now I'm just going, oh, I'm not going to get through this. Jay's laughing too hard. We're gonna
It's all
very
great
good.
in one take.
It just got funnier and funnier because it's so change.
It's so
flowing
noisy.
out.
So noisy.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just an old, stupid old joke.
This
but
may
it does
help
make me
people.
laugh.
great.
For us to explain every joke may really help.
Yeah.
If
Coming
we
up-
could only be there.
Yeah.
Coming up is another nice shot where we go from
Again, we dropped a drag gag though too.
yeah.
Yeah, nobody really. It's
yeah.
old man.
But here you
clothes.
go from a
Yeah.
medium. You go from a wide shot
Right.
into your close up without a cut.
Yeah.
That's
That's
nice.
sweet.
Yeah, we did a lot.
That's nice. Here's our killer, Comfior, who has tracked me to this hospital.
Now, we had a whole other set of gags, right? Of did we ever
Yeah.
show them? No.
With the clothes, you mean?
Clothes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's me
Yeah.
trying on several different
We-
outfits.
It's just
tried
now.
it.
There's just a pile, and it didn't really.
There was,
We
yeah,
went too
just
long.
holding up. Yeah, there was one thing where I play. Yeah, well, here, it's this.
Oh, okay. Then
Yes,
we did.
yeah.
We used it.
Right.
Never
We
mind.
used this part of it.
But we didn't ever use. We
Me
actually
holding
didn't
up
even
a
shoot
dress.
it then. We
Right.
tried him trying on different things.
Right, but there was
It
T-shirts with
too
funny
long.
slogans on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm with stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was also me holding up a dress and
This is
kinda
also one
liking
of-
it,
Right.
Right.
which was a reference to my.
Now wait, here's a cameo of Hitchcock coming
This
out.
is our Hitchcock
Right.
cameo
Yeah.
coming up.
That,
And this is also the knife that Colm was
was
fooling
played with
with
all the time.
constantly.
Yes.
now here's where I really wanted Dave to pretend to be a statue, and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
only
right.
only because it was a bad idea.
I desperately wanted him to just pretend to be a statue. But here's David Steinberg.
But I do like the elbow against the brace. Yeah.
Yes, we need you. I'm sorry, I'm busy. Look, my partner's having a heart attack, and you're going to save him. Let's go.
Coming up is another scene that I love that
Yes,
never gets a
that
laugh.
never gets a laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know why it maybe comes too fast. This one.
But this is actually the killer actually trying to save a policeman's life.
Life.
That's yeah.
Surrounded by policemen
Yeah.
Right.
in the surgery
Right.
and failing.
Right.
I think people don't know that he's dead.
Don't know that he's dead. Right. That it's a flatliner, or they don't recognize callers.
Right.
The other thing.
Yeah.
And
This I love the police consoling him.
Yeah.
After his
You really
life.
tried your best,
Right.
Doc. Yeah.
right.
Nothing.
Right.
No, but people did laugh at the thing. They don't laugh
Yeah,
at
but they don't
this.
laugh at this, which
Yeah.
is. But the thing is the setup to
Right.
this.
Right.
I know.
You know.
Really hard.
He runs off.
Why? Do they recognize that that's calm? I don't know.
They don't.
No, I don't think in the operating room they do. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is Enrico.
Enrico Colantoni
Oh,
from
Enrico,
Just
Just
Shoot Me.
Yeah.
Just Shoot Me.
He
This
was
sadly
wonderful.
we had to trim down too as a
Yeah.
as a concession to our distributor.
There was another suggestion, remember, from others to take the scene out. Remember this
Yes.
was the scene
yeah,
they had to fight for.
it
'Cause
was
Enrico's-
Disney and Regency that wanted this.
They
out.
didn't. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't get it.
They
And
didn't get it.
Enrico's so brilliant in it.
He's so wonderful.
Yeah.
And Regency didn't want it, and they're not even part of this whole distribution system. That's
I
the
know.
weird part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people contacted
but
us.
a lot of their stuff that they
Yeah.
wanted out was it's another day with a truck, another day with
Paragon,
a,
yes.
yeah.
Paragon.
I'm sorry, Paragon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Regency is different.
Different
company.
entirely.
Not
Different.
even involved.
It's an
No,
airline.
they're not involved.
It's an
yes.
airline.
Yeah. It's also a mode of government.
Yeah, exactly.
Paragon.
Paragon.
Who we destroyed.
Yes.
We drove into bankruptcy.
And handmade films.
Yeah.
Right.
The man who killed your friend's boss is a Cuban assassin. 9 out of 10 times, this is the truth.
That's bad math.
He'll come after you with everything you've got. concerning man-made viruses.
Oh, God. Is there any way he can defend himself?
Absolutely.
We're just enjoying this part.
Yeah.
Household items can be used as deadly weapons. Friend.
Evil.
2 tea bags and some wax paper.
I think that was my joke.
Yeah, it was. I'll give you that.
I like the callback to it at the end.
Yes.
That was my idea. The callback.
That's great.
You're an ass.
No, I
Let's
think
just hand out credit. Maybe we should just Chiron the credit of each joke.
each
Could we?
Yeah.
Could we do that or no?
No,
If we'd done that in the final print.
Now here's a good stunt man. The guy does not look anything like you.
Yeah, here's a stunt they wouldn't let me do.
Right.
That was me worried about you.
Yeah.
But with the speed the car
Look
is
at how
going,
slow the car's going. You
I
can't-
really could have done it.
Right. Guy with the big red
We
wing
had to
on.
add the sound because it was going about 20 miles per hour.
But that is a scene where Enrico just
he killed.
picked it up. I mean,
he's so funny.
Imagine
brilliant.
any other, even a great actor doing it. This guy with comedy chops, he just was amazing in that.
This guy's real Canadian.
This
Yeah.
guy.
disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's follow this up.
He just didn't say
We
A.
lost some gag, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a gag that I actually 5 years in the making.
Yeah.
When I first moved out to Los Angeles, this was something
Now,
I thought.
but before you guys got there, I was testing the amount of water.
Right.
And the guy wouldn't give me that much water. It's a Canadian thing to just not want to do too much. Of
Right,
anything.
right.
He said, no, it's got to be
trickle.
a lot.
You
a
just
lot.
let it trickle down.
Right.
It's like,
Trickle.
no, that's not the gag. That's the
That's
gag.
the gag.
And the gag nearly killed Dave again.
That's true. Because
Right.
it
I
was-
swallowed a lot of water.
yeah.
But see, that's what I love about that. You know it's coming. You know he's going to get the water.
Yeah.
And it's still funny.
It's incredibly brave also of you just to stick your head in there
Right.
upside
Oh, it's
down
always
like
so
that.
great.
Yeah, and the force of the water drove my head against the metal rail
right.
plate
Yes.
at the bottom.
Yes, we all laughed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were concerned.
And here, another little film innovation. We're well into the second act, and we
Yes.
finally bring in our love interest.
Yes.
You see, what Hitchcock did is he killed off Janet Leigh in the first 18 minutes.
Yes.
We wait till the end.
Bring her in. Yeah.
Jennifer Tilly, who's also Canadian,
Yeah.
turns out.
Landed Canadian
Yeah.
again.
Nah,
She
not
was born
really
in
Canadian.
Seattle, I believe. Yeah, they lived in Canada
Yes,
during the
right.
war. Her father was served in Canada. No, I don't.
During the Vietnam War?
Yeah, during the war. They actually lived in Vancouver, I believe.
No,
or
they were on the
Western
prairies,
Canada, right?
Like
Oh,
Calgary.
Regina. I know.
Yeah.
Now, she's named Lynn, I believe, because my wife is named Lynn.
Yes, and she was originally named after my
old
ex
girlfriend
crazy
of
girlfriend.
Of
Yes.
Dave Higgins.
Yeah, so we
Well,
changed
that's
the
as far
name.
as we'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't work out between them.
Mm-hmm.
Not from around here, are you?
What makes you say that?
Well, you know, it's a small town. I've lived here all my life, and I've never seen you before.
Oh, then no, I'm not from around here. Oh, that doesn't matter. The real question is, where am I going?
Now, I never got to see any of these things being shot because I was stuck at home base or somewhere, and there's a camera truck or something going on, and I
Yeah.
would just hear that things went well.
You might have been out of town that weekend.
No, I remember
There was
just
no
being-
room on the truck.
no room on the truck.
Yeah.
You must have been so annoying at that point to me that I just said, no room.
No room on the
Details.
truck.
Too
Well,
many
this was
details.
when my mom was visiting. These scenes here.
Yes, your mom was
Was it?
visiting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, is this the day also that Jennifer cried?
No, Jennifer cried, I think, the
No.
first day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, the first day is when I
In
went.
the van. It was
I-
when we were shooting the stuff in the van.
I made her cry because I wanted her to not do her voice the first day.
Yeah.
And she really did. She was remarkable for coming around
No,
and
she-
doing it
this
and
is
not
great.
commenting. and-
Well, and
Yeah.
she,
I was going to say, the other thing is Jennifer really got all the jokes. Like,
Absolutely.
really
Yes.
knew exactly where
Yeah.
the comedy was.
She's
in
really good at
everything we did.
comedy.
and never hit anything too hard, which was great.
No.
Very brave.
And added lots of little touches.
right.
Yeah.
This also we felt in a comedy a woman should the female lead to fall in love with this guy has to have something wrong with her.
Some real
Yeah.
problem, significant problem.
And our way of handling it was
Very-
through
very-
narcolepsy.
Made her narcoleptic. Which I believe was used in a released motion picture.
That would be
recently.
Me, Myself, and Irene, right?
No, I was
Oh.
thinking. No, the Deuce Bigelow. Is that the one?
Yeah, whatever it
maybe.
is,
They
they,
did have
saw
that
our
One of
movie
those-
first.
Yeah,
One
they
of
had
those-
a narcoleptic
yeah.
love interest.
Because you don't automatically get to narcolepsy that quickly.
No, not like we do.
Not like we
No.
do.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't invent it, but yeah.
No.
You don't see a
But
lot
we've-
of narcoleptic
No.
No.
things, Jay. That was
Listen.
very inventive, I thought.
Oh my God.
But no, she was.
We'll go back to my house and I'll bandage that cut.
Maybe I should drive.
Don't be silly. You don't know the way.
Subtle gag. That's yeah.
And you know what? We got a laugh here we didn't even intend.
No.
Coming up.
With the fence.
With the fence.
Yeah.
Which we didn't even think of.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
It never
Yeah,
occurred to us.
it's that run down that's funny.
She had knocked down the fence.
Right. Oh, from hitting it
Everyone
with the
thinks
car.
she knocked it down
Right,
with
and
the
we
car.
just have it's just run down.
But I tell people we did think of that.
Oh no!
Well, then
This
we
is a
did.
gag we did come up with.
Yeah.
She's
We
knocked the
did
fence
that
down. Right.
Yeah.
No. Look at the amount of blood.
And then here comes one of Jay's favorite gags.
Which one?
The idea that she couldn't afford ice. You think it, you always thought was so funny.
I'm trying to remember that.
Ready? You'll see in a second.
See, Jennifer and I have very good chemistry in this.
Yes. They're great fun. And I don't like a lot of blood.
No.
So I like blood in that first big scene.
Right.
That was great fun.
Right.
But I didn't want to have blood in the scene with Joe coming up.
Just a trickle.
It's nice or sensitive filth. I like that.
Much better. Maybe just some ice for the swelling. That'd be great.
Ice?
Yeah.
You can't afford any ice.
Now see, remember you love that gag.
Okay.
I don't
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Do you know when other guys, writers, directors, stars do this, do they enjoy their own movie as much as we
Never.
are?
Never.
No.
Never. I've heard commentary.
They're all telling great stories behind how it was made.
We're just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Have you heard the commentary for Boogie Nights? Come on.
Our refrigerator is broken, and we have to eat canned food because
See, I like this music too. This shrag, this
Oh,
warm.
Shrag was great.
everything is falling apart.
This is a good gag too.
Gee, sure sounds like you folks could use some help around here.
I love this. Yeah.
Well, I better be going.
I love
Was this Jennifer's first scene? This is the
No,
first.
her first scene was the last scene in the movie.
Yeah, the van ride.
Right.
I don't follow.
Well, maybe you could work here for room and board.
Work. What?
See, the character doesn't like to work.
He doesn't like to work.
No.
That's the
He's
irony.
an executive.
Which,
Here's another
he
good-
was like an executive.
Another good gag.
Can't do any heavy lifting.
Oh, that back?
No.
Which was very similar to the cut cat urine gag. Kind of.
But also the
No?
I think Joe Flaherty had come
Yes.
that afternoon and was watching us shoot the scene.
yeah, right.
And he loved
Loved
the
it.
bad back. No.
Yeah, right.
He kept repeating.
Another
it.
landed Canadian. He's born in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Well, he's not Canadian at all.
No, he's not Canadian.
No, he
became Canadian.
He has
yeah,
Canadian.
he's Canadian. He can work in
counts as
Canada.
points.
Yeah.
he
So
counts
it's
as
Colin.
points.
They're landed aliens or
Yeah.
there's some status.
Colin
in
too?
Canada.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
guess who was a Canadian who you all claim as Americans? Mary Pickford, Max Sennett, Mort Saul,
Yes.
You can
David
have 'em.
Steinberg.
You can have them.
I don't claim any of those people.
No, I've never once.
No.
The king of comedy, America's sweetheart.
Thank you. I've never
Buster
been called
Keaton,
that
the king of.
before.
You're saying Buster Keaton was Canadian?
He was not Max.
All right,
This is,
never mind.
here's a gag.
This is a great gag.
Yeah.
Now this was the music gag. This was the original one we asked for,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
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 We
A lot
eventually
of
got.
controversy.
Yes. Remember, I
People
didn't
want-
understand it.
People wanted
Yeah.
Judy Garland or something else. I
No,
forget.
it's
Barbara-
Raining Men. I think was
Yeah.
a choice. Yeah.
Judy Garland, yeah, but just too square.
For the exact right era,
Yes.
this is completely a gay song.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there are probably kids who are born,
But it's
5
so-
years too late or 5 years too early, don't know.
But it's still
Bronski
fine to not have it too on the money.
Right.
Yeah.
Now who's this actor?
This is Boyd Banks.
He's really funny.
He's funny, yeah.
And it's a little story about Boyd. His real name is Boyd Kuhn, and which he had to change because every time he's introduced, people thought it was a joke name, and black people in the audience would become very angry with him.
I could see that.
That's him, all right.
But he's hilarious. Great comic.
Not an idiot.
I love all the straight readings.
And then Colin being so serious, is
Yeah.
like the music just drives the story, so everything
Right.
can be funny off of it. It's great.
Yeah.
He was wonderful, Colin, in this.
That was also part of our casting. This is another good gag. But in casting, we really wanted someone who was good, that you actually would fear or
Correct.
feel
You
some.
could believe. Right.
And look, the fence has been repaired. Oh,
Yeah.
this was based on a story Jay told me about his dad.
This is true. My dad tried to put up shelving with Scotch tape.
And it made me laugh so hard that he told me that. I couldn't believe.
This is a nice shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
This little build.
This sound guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Nelson. Lynn hired me to be the new handyman.
Bad handyman.
Still holding up the one post.
Yeah.
Oh, you must be your father. Hi, nice to meet you.
I love that his hands are covered in glue.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
huge amounts of glue.
And there's all the empty bottles behind it,
Yeah.
too. Joe Flaherty. Oh.
He was fun to have around, Joe.
Yeah.
That's a good joke there.
Joe Flaherty, who was one of the supporting actors in the David Steinberg show.
Correct.
Is that right?
His first
From the-
television
from the
show.
That was in the late 70s?
Yep. Yep.
And
He played Mr. Bijou, the guy who ran the network.
Now, is it just because I'm Jewish, or is that just disgusting?
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
No,
I
it is
just-
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, tainted ham is an oxymoron.
Right. But I mean, shouldn't.
No, even as a Midwesterner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we never had ham, no,
yeah.
but
And ham out of a
I
can.
love ham.
my
but not
mom's
candy.
English, so it looks just fine to me. And if you remember, I
Well,
ate
you know
quite
what?
a bit of it that
In
day.
England, they
Right.
might enjoy it
Yes.
right now. Yeah.
Daddy.
No,
Yes.
that's all right.
'Cause you see, if you have an English mother, you prefer food from a can.
Yes, well, I understand. That's
Anything,
my,
anything that prevents them from cooking.
my father's mother was a horrible cook. And he used to love to go to camp, any kind of institutional place to eat. Honestly,
The
he would just be
hospital.
thrilled. Out of cafeterias, just loved it.
But he scotch taped a shelf over your bed.
Yes,
Yeah.
over my bed and put stuff on it. And
Yeah.
20 minutes later, of course, it collapsed.
Right.
Not on my head, but
Right.
he wasn't a handyman.
No, he was a comedy writer.
No, he was a
wasn't
comedy writer,
Yeah, well,
exactly.
of course.
And of course,
Damn wealthy farmers.
Which, again, not necessarily a gag everyone gets. The
wonderful.
idea that
And-
bankers being the good guy.
Oh, that's
the farmer-
right.
Everybody
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
that. I
They,
think.
they
Yeah.
get it. They get
yeah,
it.
and it builds.
Right.
But also, I remember when we were when we were first trying to plot out the storyline, when we first met to write it, that went to the diner, and we were talking. I think it was Jay came up with the idea of the
Yes, that was Jay.
the evil
Evil
farmers.
farmer.
Oh, it's so wonderful. Wonderful.
I don't like the billboard.
Grill.
Who wrote what? You know,
was
let's
Daily
just say.
Grill. It was at the Daily Grill.
I don't like the billboard restaurants we wrote at.
We wrote a lot of this at the Daily Grill, and some at Kookaroo.
We wrote quite a bit while you were gone, as a matter of fact. Jane and I finished half the film.
Not half the film.
You know what?
No, let's not start. Let's not quibble.
It's all
The-
good.
I know.
The end
It's
of
all-
the third
it
act.
worked out very good.
The last 20 pages.
It worked out fine. Now this is a good transition here.
It's a beautiful shot.
And another one of our favorite gags coming.
Right.
Oh, yes, this was a great day to be at the set, too.
That's true. Fred.
Yes. Oh, I just remember something else about this.
I
scene.
remember watching it, and watching on the monitor, she looked naked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we kept saying,
Yeah.
are you sure you can't see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember also that day, because originally Jennifer was wearing a slip underneath that.
Right. And we couldn't decide who was going to ask her to
Well,
it
and
off.
David was very uncomfortable.
Right, saying,
He goes,
"Take
you know,
it
we're
off."
having a problem.
Right.
I think, didn't Jennifer finally say, "Do you want
Yes.
me to take the slip off?"
I said, we're having a problem. She said, oh, well, why don't I just take this off? I said, well, okay, that's a good idea. Right.
It was so much better without the slip.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just-
yes.
And,
And she does it so well, hanging
Yeah.
against the door,
And she knows
looking
it.
so
Yeah.
innocently seductive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they actually put a light right underneath her.
me too.
This was all Dave Macon's work, the cinematographer, or DP. Dave knew exactly how to shoot that from the moment we started storyboarding it. We kept on talking to him about the light. I was so nervous about it. I said, how's it going to work? How are you going to do it? All of that.
Also,
He-
we were watching it on the monitor, and we're saying, we see nipple.
But-
David, we see nipple.
Right, and the monitor's not even accurate, so you have to go
Right.
to the camera to really see. He just nailed that.
This is a good joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David is he's a terrific
He's a-
cinematographer.
Yes, he is.
Let's just say he shot Brain Candy, and he also shot most of the film pieces on the Kids Null TV series.
Go ahead, Dave.
We didn't.
Oh, about.
Oh, this was supposed to be a wolf, right? This was supposed to be a wolf. And we ended up with a dog.
Right,
Yes.
for budgetary reasons.
And a lovely little dog, too. Not really vicious looking.
Pleasant
or
little
anything.
dog.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a horrible
There
wolf.
wasn't
who
a
was
horrible
fighting.
wolf-like dog in Canada, apparently.
Well, I went to scout wolves, and they brought me dogs who looked like wolves.
Right, right.
Like sort of huskies.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of wolves in
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
That's a
Apparently
problem.
not.
You know,
Yeah. It's not wolf country.
and when you said, could we need to use a Steadicam here, so they said, oh, the Steadicam guy's working on another movie.
There's one guy.
The Steadicam guy.
One
right.
guy in the country. No, it's tough. Well, I liked how the policeman storyline keeps getting weaved in. I think I
Yes.
like that.
Right.
Well placed. And I also felt that Dave in the last scene where Dave and the silhouette, where Nelson
Jennifer.
Hibbert and the silhouette of Jennifer Tilly's character was like the warm,
touching, warm moment, yeah.
nice moment where he wasn't just an idiot. He actually was falling in love. If we had done a little bit more of that, I think that would have been better for a movie in some
Yeah,
ways.
and I don't think so.
I don't know.
All right.
I think if they'd released it, I think it would have
No,
helped.
telling a
Yeah.
bit more of the story and maybe
I'm
losing a
thinking,
few
but
jokes.
I'm thinking put an ad up, say it's a comedy, and release it would have done well
Yeah.
for the film too.
That would have helped.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I
that
think,
wouldn't have helped.
You know, the fact we never got a laugh on the chair is heartbreaking.
Which
Yes.
was, I love that gag.
I had trouble with the chair gag, if you
Yes,
remember.
I
Yes.
do remember.
Yeah.
Everyone did.
And
Everyone
we-
did.
Yeah.
And we have truncated it to its bare,
Right.
unworkable essence.
Right. Well, this scene we
Oh, and this is
Yeah.
another thing we had to cut, isn't it? Yeah.
What do we have to cut?
Disney. We had to cut. I see you. What was it? Found a replacement for Mrs. Whatever. her
Oh,
name
there was a
Oh,
Jew
yes.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Jew
like,
thing.
yeah.
Right, a Jew reference.
There was
Yeah.
a reference that the small town didn't
Didn't like
a woman because she had run off with a Jew and married a Jew.
Well, it was
Right,
after-
I see we've
they
replaced
said
the
she ran-
Jew lover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said she ran off.
After
with a
Kennedy
Jewish
got
fellow
shot.
after Kennedy was assassinated. A lot of folks said she was just using it as an excuse.
Right.
Right.
And then when the evil farmer comes
This
in,
actor's name is Alan Scarf, and
Another great Shakespearean actor.
Yeah,
one of
probably.
Canada's greatest. Yes.
really did a good job, and we didn't love him until David cast him, and at first we weren't sure that he was the right guy.
Yeah, I thought he was great because I knew he's a good actor and he wasn't going to comment, and he just turned out terrific, I thought.
But it'd be a shame if people around here started to lose confidence in
Also-
the bank. If certain facts became public. What facts?
Also, I love the way he said fresh crop of corn.
Right.
Yeah. It's a movie with a lot of villains.
Yes.
Wasn't there a Jew reference in the newspaper?
There
that
was.
That's what it was. It was
Golden Same-
runs off with Jew, replaces
yeah,
Jew lover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was on the in the
Yeah.
newspaper.
And it had a picture of her.
Right.
Tell me your share of the bank now.
We had to reshoot the newspaper too.
Yes. Right.
I
Yes.
believe I'm holding one of the newspaper. I know I was in a reshoot of holding a newspaper.
Yeah.
That's
fresh crop of corn.
Fresh crop of corn.
I gotta say, it was thrilling to have Joe Flaherty doing our
Oh,
dialogue.
he's great. Always been a hero of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe's
too.
wonderful.
The kids in the hall, we all stole from Joe Flaherty constantly.
Oh, sure.
Everybody looks so
Oh, and also we had a discussion about how much
SpaghettiOs.
would
Yes,
be on
right,
Miss
right,
Tilly.
right.
And she had originally come up with covered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And the real shame about the Jew lover gags being gone is that the guy playing the security guard
Yes.
was great.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
And
And he was great doing the line too.
Yeah.
Right.
The security guard named Gavin, I believe.
Yes,
Named after my
Super agent at the time.
Yes, exactly.
And my former
My former agent as well.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the gag. Let me explain the gag. They've changed 3 things at the bank, and he still can't get used to that
it's
new
still in
gag.
the movie.
Yeah. I know it's there. It's just.
But it was bigger. I made it short.
Yeah. Coming up is one of the first gags I ever pitched to you two guys for this movie.
This is wonderful.
Also, this was shot so beautifully at,
Yes.
at
But-
the Golden Hour.
You know, when we scouted locations for this, there was no field. It was all the way down. And-
Oh, right. They said, don't worry. By the
Don't
time
worry
we
about it." I
go,
said,
it'll
"No,
be grown.
No, I have to see something.
Right.
And boy, were they right. It was just perfect.
This was a good gag.
Of murder.
Now, this movie all came about because Dave had the idea. This was Dave Foley's original idea of a man who's running away from a crime he did not commit.
That he's never been.
And nobody cares.
No one's chasing him. Right?
Nobody's chasing after him. And Dave told me this idea, and almost immediately I said, I want to write that instead of you. But then we decided to write together, and I don't really know how Dave Higgins joined on. I think
because at the same time, Dave and I have been talking about trying to write something together.
I see.
And so when you and I started talking about writing, I said, well, Dave and I were talking about writing, so why don't we all three get together?
And so that's how Dave was forced upon me, Dave Higgins?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you. No, Dave Higgins and I actually enjoy writing with one another. And
yes. You have a history of failed ventures.
Exactly.
That's true.
And things without you, Dave Foley.
He destroyed my career as a starring actor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
We never got that far.
No. I never shot anything.
I can't find the credit for Gavin.
I'm looking for...
His name is William Lynn.
William Lynn?
Yes.
Played Gavin.
He was Gavin. I'm sorry I didn't remember, but he was great. Coming up is one of the only jokes in the movie I don't like.
Which one? This joke?
Yeah, it's...
Oh, it was a little jarring, actually.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just because she made the joke, actually, and no one else makes a joke except for you in this movie.
Right, you wouldn't let anybody.
Right.
I felt that too. I felt it was
forced.
A little forced. Right.
This next scene was lovely. This next bit.
And this was all supposed to have, which it happens, doesn't it? The scope.
No, we cut that.
Is that gone?
We
Yeah,
cut that
we ended
out.
up cutting that. It was going to
He's
be
in the
killer's
woods. The killer in the woods with the scope, going to shoot them.
And that's.
This is me with the blonde Asian girl. Now, the rumor was that was another transsexual.
Now we could be.
But actually, you picked this girl, didn't you? Because
yes, I did.
You did.
I did.
Because I remember I was somewhere else, and all of a sudden,
Another
a blonde Asian
transsexual.
girl showed up.
Right.
And a Mai Tai for the lady.
And again, the original music for Moby, the musical.
Right, that's right.
Written by Jay Kogen.
Written by Jay Kogen.
Right.
That's right. And Lawrence Schrag.
And Lawrence Schrag.
Yes.
And the end credits, lyrics of the end credits are hysterical.
Yes. Well, we tried to do.
What's that
be our
word?
guest, kind of, from Disney. Be our guest.
Which was what we were going to try to use.
They wouldn't
let us criticize it at all. We didn't even criticize.
No, they begged us.
Beauty and the Beast.
Disney begged us to use the song.
That's right. Make it Beauty and the Beast.
Make it Beauty and the Beast joke, and then we did, and then they wouldn't let us use it.
Oh, because I say it was so at the end. Like I go, the candlestick looks like a candlestick.
I also like the solid gold pumps gag.
Now, Greg Keane did perfectly on everything except for the truck.
Laugh. Yeah.
The truck I thought was a little too goofy. Remember, you guys liked the truck.
I wanted to be more high tech.
Yeah. Well, no, I liked it high tech. I felt it wasn't high tech. It looked.
Yeah.
It looked.
Well,
it looks comfortable.
Yeah. Greg Keane, our director.
Oh, he was wonderful.
Production designer.
Production designer. He was like amazing for what he did on this budget.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff all over the place.
Yeah. And had such a great time doing it. Had so many choices. And
even though he's from New Zealand.
Right, and he worked on the piano, right? Like the movie.
Yes. He
kept talking about this classic, wonderful
movie. That was a very expensive shot for us to get the exterior of the bank that didn't exist.
Right, it was a model or something.
Right. This was in the middle of the city of Toronto that we're shooting this.
This was the bank replaces.
Right.
This is where we had the.
That's right.
That's where we had the headline saying "Bank replaces Jew lover with cold-blooded killer."
That's right. That house you're living in from this bank. Jacob, you remember when
Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Obviously.
No.
No.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. That's right.
I know there was a Capra.
Right. Yeah, some
Capra film.
Okay, and there's a third gag in here that we had to cut again as a Disney note.
The dentist.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
One woman, her husband. There's the jeweler.
Yeah.
The men's jewelry store. But we had the mother. Your mother loaned the money for him to go to medical school.
And true, he committed suicide, but still.
But he said, but dentists have a high suicide rate. He knew
that
he was
going
getting
in.
into.
Yeah.
But what this is mostly in Hitchcock is saboteur.
Right.
That's what makes it sort of fun. Because saboteur, he's on the run for the whole movie, and people just keep on helping him everywhere. And then he gets to the Empire State, the Statue of Liberty.
No.
That's it. Huh?
Great
And I
take.
think we did get one take with Flaherty doing the big.
I went for one instead of two.
Yeah.
Right. This was a hard one to do.
It was very hard. It was very
There's all
loud
the
in there.
crowd. And
All of it.
Yeah.
And it was hot.
Hot. And
it was in the middle of Toronto. This was like in the downtown Toronto, this old-looking bank.
Right.
Yeah.
But the trick of the movie was always to keep the story going enough so that you were able to wait for the comedy stuff. Because Colin had to keep on appearing. You had to keep on, Dave Higgins had to keep on chasing him. That was what was so wonderful about the script. And then when we did it, it was there.
And this was supposed to be written as they race out of the bank, and we tried as hard as we could to get these people to leave quickly.
No,
but this is as quickly as Canadians run.
Yeah, right.
This is as fast as they go.
Right.
Didn't we have to lose this
Yes.
guy?
This was a good.
This
scene
was a
that we
really
left in.
good gag.
Yeah.
Barbershop quartet gag.
And he's wearing the shirt from the bank, the old-fashioned bank.
Right.
And then it was, do you swing?
Right. Why'd you bring your wife along?
Yeah, right.
We swing.
Oh, that's Why'd
we're
you bring your
swingers.
wife along? These barbershop quartets conventions can get pretty racy.
And this one is a hard gag to read off the bus.
Right.
Yes.
This is the
It was a Vietnam vet.
emotionally disturbed Vietnam veteran retreat. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that sign.
Right.
It's a little goofy.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of the signs were soft. And they needed to be harder lines.
right.
We said they had the same problem earlier with the diaper service that they couldn't use because it was all pastel.
And it was supposed to read emotionally disturbed Vietnam Veterans Convention.
Right. And we didn't have time to change it.
I know, because he kept
We
saying,
got it
no,
wrong.
but they have retreats. That makes
So
sense.
Convention was the gag.
Yeah.
Right.
But usually, what they did in the 40s, when you have a sign, someone reads it when you want people to notice it. Because even if it's there, you don't really
Or a
absorb
Mel
it.
Brooks film, the half hour. on this.
Right. Someone says what it is.
That's a smarter idea, I
Yeah.
think.
I thought you wanted Nelson. The man you want came to the bank right before the police got here. I haven't seen him before or since.
He's very observant.
Let's face it, I think there's some pretty strong feelings going on here. And it's just something I wanted to say.
I remember we were shooting this. It was almost 2 or 3 o'clock at night. I remember Dave Higgins was still there.
And I was
think,
trying to.
Jay, you were.
I was away.
You were
Yeah,
gone
he was
that
away.
day.
I did not.
But I tried to keep the energy up.
You did. You were wonderful. You kept on saying, "Mr. Steinberg's very unhappy with this scene."
Yeah. And it was freezing, too.
Yeah,
Very
it was cold as
Well, we'd gotten hail the day before.
Yeah. Well, we remember we had 3 weather fronts in one day.
The second callback to tea bags and wax paper.
Right.
Yes,
there.
tea bags. Right.
Right.
Or actually, the first callback, second reference.
It's odd that you always mention tea bags.
Yeah. Weird.
Nothing.
Dave loves tea bags.
They're
Now, this is also, now at this point,
This
his
was the-
fiance is making love.
Correct.
Right. This was the one she was making
Right,
love
yeah.
to someone in the. Well, you
Right.
hear the machine.
And there
You
is
see the machine.
some hint that she has gotten married to somebody else. Is
Right.
there a
Yeah.
bouquet
Oh,
or
right. There's a
something?
bouquet and wedding gown.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yes.
right.
But I felt when we were putting it together that we don't know her.
Here's another one of the stunts that we didn't.
Right.
Yes.
He was
right.
supposed to burst out of the back of
Yes.
the truck and roll down the highway. And
right.
Well, he bursts out of the truck, and then two other Vietnam
people
vets
rolled.
go, "Hey, let's go!"
Yeah.
And they jump out,
And the guy got hurt. He hurt himself
Yeah,
horribly.
I broke my back.
Yeah.
No, not in real life.
Not
No,
really.
the guy
In
hurt himself. He
script.
caught his head.
Oh, one guy.
He-
Yeah.
He
That's
bumped
right.
his head
So that's why we
leading
didn't
the
use
bus.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You put down yours or I blow a hole through this guy's head.
I ran when he hit his head because I knew they'd blame the director, and I just
And then we couldn't find him for a
Always
day.
a good sign of a director.
Yeah, he was
Hide.
locked in the ladies'
I
bathroom.
thought it
for
would
2
be so
days.
unfair to blame me when I wasn't even looking through the monitor at the time.
Mistake. What if I put down my gun, walk away, and you don't kill me?
You know, this is another time. If we had done this film somewhere else, this is a fine actor. But if we'd gotten like a Dana Gould or just if we gotten one of our, if we'd been able to do
Say
this
it
in
in
Los Angeles
American.
and gotten a regular
Just
good
say
American
it-
actor,
Oh,
it would have been so much better.
Dave, I don't
Higgins,
agree
you're
with you
so
at all.
wrong.
You're wrong.
That guy
wrong,
was
wrong.
wonderful.
He was terrific.
No, he was brilliant. I'm
Right.
just saying, if we could have got a regular good American.
Well, what are you saying? If he was brilliant, what are you saying?
Right. Stop whining about what we can't do.
But the Canadian government helped pay for this
Correct.
movie. They get to have a few
I know.
Canadians in it.
Right, and Dave and I are Canadians, and we
Yeah,
are
I don't know if you
yes,
know that.
touch sensitive about that.
Yeah. Canadians who have excelled in your inferior market.
We've exploited the States now for years.
Mm-hmm.
Good slap.
That was
the real slap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
It really hurt.
I remember.
She really nailed you, but that's the only time they ever
You know
play.
what? It's very sweet. It's like the first time we did, because we had to beg her, we had to really talk her. I had to like go, no, really, really hit me hard. And the first take was ruined because she slapped me so hard that she immediately got upset and started to cry.
That's right. I remember that. She was so upset with herself.
I know. Yeah. And I had to stop and say, no, it's all right.
Well, you don't want to be the one that has to slap the person either. It's a terrible position.
I'd do it. I'll slap somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You would.
Yeah.
Yes. She was subjected to my my lecture about how the difference between actors and comedians.
That's true.
That's true.
This is
We've all been subjected to that.
And now so shall you,
That's
viewers.
right. Walladarski Catering, who- my good friend and my ex-writing partner.
And that's
Wallace
the fastest
Walladarski.
we could get a van to go in Canada.
Yeah.
But old writing partner of Jay's.
Yeah, from a show called The Simpsons.
Right.
Yes.
We used to work together on The Simpsons.
I think, Dave Higgins, you cast the manicurist, too.
Yes,
if I'm
I
not
did.
mistaken.
I went out with her a couple times.
Did you? You went to Niagara Falls or
way.
somewhere like
That's
that.
right.
No, we didn't go to Niagara Falls.
No, I went to
You
Niagara
said
Falls.
you did.
That's right.
We were going
I went to Niagara Falls with my sprained ankle.
Oh, you did. Right,
when we were
right,
shut
that
down.
was it. Right.
Look, I am telling you, I am a terrible hostage. I am a wanted man.
Yeah, the police think he killed Randall Nagel.
This scene we recut a lot. Remember?
Yes.
This is a lot of.
Yes. Well, we had a one
trying to
camera.
get the rhythm right.
Also, one camera had a
blurry
this
right,
light.
Right.
Yeah.
It's me.
But it was still just trying to find the tempo of it to make it just right.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to tell me that you killed Nagel? And everybody knows you killed Nagel? Nobody thinks that I did it. Nobody is after me. I quit my job. I abandoned my life. I mended a fence.
Now, mended a fence. It was painted a house.
Painted a house, right.
And we had to cut that scene.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Stop the charade. I'm not stupid.
Also, you painted the house so horribly.
Right.
It was funny.
It was
how
paint
bad.
over the
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
all
It was
one
very-
color.
Red.
Yeah.
Didn't it red house?
Green?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was red and white, but red, a lot of red.
Thought it would be up to
Yeah,
me to get
the
it
red
done.
running into the white.
Right.
Once we get to Mexico, I'm going to run. Don't get me wrong. If I have to, I'll shoot you.
No, you're wrong. You've got this thing wrong. I'm a nobody, all right? I'm just an ordinary guy. A guy that has just risked the life of the most wonderful woman in the world. I am an idiot. I am a complete idiot.
No, you're not.
If I really believed that, I'd have to pull over, hog tie you, and shoot you in the back of the head.
Well, it looks like secret agent.
The longest.
Most heroes are so glib when they make a
Right.
turn.
Yeah.
Whatever you said.
Oh, now here we are.
Mr. Tiny's
Mr.
America.
Chinese. Right.
This was. I'm trying to remember where we actually shot
way,
that
way
part.
out and
Oh,
Right.
yeah, at
Yeah.
the water park.
Something-
Was it
Right,
in
a
Banff?
water park. It's an
Yeah.
old water park.
yeah.
At Malton.
Oh, this
Ice
the
cold
hottest,
water.
hottest water.
Oh, it's boiling hot water.
Usually, you shoot a shower scene. It's cold water. These guys didn't have the cold water on at all. I was being boiled
Scalded.
alive.
It was being scalded. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I haven't been miniature golfing since I was a kid. You know something, Mr. Killer? You're not such a tough guy. You're just an
The
old
only comedy effect here.
That sound
no
effect.
Yeah, the sound of comedy punch.
And I want to point. It's from here on that I wasn't around for the writing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
man, it
Wasn't
comes
it-
out.
Now this was
Oh,
my
no,
gag.
you're going to
Remember the Alamo,
the directing again.
and we couldn't get
Remember-
this gag exactly right. No.
No, it wasn't just the Alamo. Remember, we couldn't get a
It was,
crash.
remember, we
Right,
could
that's
not.
right.
Yeah,
No.
so we had to fake the crash.
Couldn't afford a
Yeah.
crash.
Right. And I said, it almost doesn't matter. And I think it doesn't matter that much.
No.
Almost doesn't. I agree with it. It almost doesn't matter.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Alamo alarms. Remember our motto. Remember the Alamo alarms.
Right.
Yes. That's
Oh,
a
there's
fine
another,
joke.
there's another good sound effect coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this was Jennifer. There. Okay.
This
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, we
You don't
love
see
this.
a grown man carrying another grown man.
Now, this was Jennifer's first scene in the movie.
Was this the first day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
Mr. Tiny. There's a whole subplot about Mr. Tiny, right?
There was a speech about Mr. Tiny, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, about how he. Yeah.
The land was going to be sold, and he's somehow connected with.
Well, he would have been giving me the
Ken
backstory.
Daly's.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Possibly getting you killed and ruining your father's business.
Well, it would have gone under anyway.
Great, then everything's okay.
Well, not really. I still might get killed.
Oh, this is all. I mean, this was our brilliant way of getting him on the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
Statue of Liberty. But I think it's clever, actually, to see these little
quick.
miniature White House things. And
Did you bring the money?
Oh, the big surprise.
big surprise.
Ken Daly.
You guys wanted to give it away in like the first reel by having. Remember, I kept on saying we shouldn't have Ken on the phone there early on. Remember, that was a big argument.
But he
Yeah,
was.
He
No,
was.
no,
I know.
yeah.
Yes.
Right. I
But he
thought-
still comes out of the shadows.
Yeah. Right.
No, we
Right.
yeah.
Right. We
But
gave
we
it
didn't
away.
have him the first time. He's not on the phone the first time.
Right.
is
No,
he?
well, one cut I had him out.
No, we
totally.
don't have him in the phone
Right,
the first
right.
time.
Then we just went back and said, what's the difference?
Yeah, we're not.
Right. Not going to try to surprise him.
Well, that modern romance with Albert Brooks, and they're cutting the movie. It's not a mystery. We don't need the mystery.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna,
That
I'm
was
gonna
a
say,
joke.
here's a joke that Jay Kogen wanted in the movie, and it's hilarious. Was that Ken Daly would open the briefcase full of money, take out 2 stacks, close the briefcase, and say, $500,000, and keep the suitcase.
And just keep the suitcase clearly filled with millions and millions of dollars. We never got that done.
Where you'll find a car waiting with provisions. Open the hatch.
I remember receiving these pages in the mail from you guys
Really?
and laughing
Well,
hysterically.
this was
Oh,
really.
so you
this,
like it now?
well, this
Oh,
was
now
also,
you like it.
This was actually very hard to get done. Kim stuffed.
It was very difficult.
Very difficult to get it, so he falls in.
Right. Well, it was hard to get him to fall in with his ass sticking out, which
Yes.
you guys wanted.
What you guys wanted. We did want that.
No, you're gonna save me.
If you just hug him hard
Right.
enough, he'll get him to do it.
My character's a coward.
See, he runs behind the girl. I
hide
love
behind-
that.
And then I get embarrassed
And run in
Right,
front.
and run in front.
after
See?
the danger
After
is
the
past.
danger's over.
Yes.
And that wasn't Tan's ass, was it?
What?
He had to leave.
That's
because
right,
he's
it
doing
was a
something
stunt
else.
ass.
That was a stunt ass.
Right.
I think Daly was in on this thing right from the start.
I love this gag.
You to kill Nagel.
Now, this is supposed to be inside that tiny little
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty head.
Right.
But I love that you've solved the mystery.
Yeah, that is a great one. Let's go, honey.
The big
That would
happy
be the
ending.
end of the
Right.
movie. Right.
It's just good look.
Once you've solved the mystery, then
Come
it's
on.
over.
It's almost like he's in on the comment. Come on.
I like this.
Yeah, this is a great gag.
The cotton
This is so
candy
funny.
machine or candy floss is
And it's,
apparently
you know what?
becoming-
This almost like a Tati framing.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's just that
Very
set shot.
pristine.
Never. I love that.
I actually like that.
I do too. And it's all in perfect
Drove
profile.
right out of the frame.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I love that.
Only our second time having a vehicle leave a frame.
That's right.
And one of the fastest vehicles in the movie.
Yes.
That's right.
yes. I
Well,
was
an American
I
is
was doing
driving
my own
it.
stunts.
An
Yeah.
American is driving that thing, for God's sakes.
I would.
This is great fun.
Yes. Again, this and this sequence too.
Yes.
I wasn't around for the writing of this sequence, which is brilliant.
Too late to try and apologize, Dave.
I had to go make a movie called Brain Candy.
I remember.
Perhaps you're the only one.
Now this is where we looked at Saboteur
yeah,
for the
yeah.
end of it over and over again. Macon and I just
Now
went
this,
as much as we
now
could.
didn't they move the Statue of Liberty
Yes.
head to a different location to sort of get this big
correct,
shot, right?
right.
Well, this we had to do exterior.
Right,
And
and
it was our final shot.
Put it in a
Right.
big parking lot.
Jennifer
right by
was
the
wrapped from this. She had to go right to do that Jim Carrey movie
Right.
with
Liar,
Liar
liar.
Liar.
Right, but you notice that it's all of a sudden a blue sky when it was overcast.
The only day we had blue sky.
Right.
And also the guys rigging the Statue of Liberty head in the parking lot didn't brace it.
Yes.
So
right.
we
It
got
was-
to the top
yeah,
and it was swaying about 6
right.
feet.
Right.
The super cop I'm holding hostage.
Are you saying you have a
You're just an ordinary idiot.
No, I'm.
This we had the most trouble with. We wanted you to
Right.
say, yes, I am an idiot.
Right. He
But it's
refused.
because I was answering the question he asked.
Correct.
But these 2 human lives are valuable, right?
This is great, too.
I like that.
That's very well done. And our only squib.
Right.
Yeah.
In the film. It's a joke. Yeah. And I'm not that giant a person. It's a tiny megaphone.
Right.
How quiet we get for the jokes.
Oh, we
Well,
love
we
the
don't
jokes.
want to burn that gag.
That's right. We love the
Right,
jokes.
love it.
Seen
They've
this.
It's
seen
such a
it.
quiet movie.
Yeah,
I know. It's a
right.
quiet moment.
But Dave was great
Yeah.
at this whole Dave Higgins classic megaphone gag.
Yeah.
Always wanted to ride in a helicopter.
Timing.
Right, it's all about
Timing. Timing.
Yeah. Everyone could hear everybody, no matter how far away they are.
Yeah, that's true.
He gets that adamant about the helicopter.
Yeah.
But see, Colin again drives the scene
Straight.
right
Yeah.
in so
Straight.
You know,
Bad negotiating. There's the third
There it
reference.
is.
Bags of
Teabags
wax
wax
paper.
right, right.
And then she puts her finger in the bullet hole.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a stun man.
This is-
Yeah.
right,
And that's
and a prop thing falling away.
right. This is saboteur shot.
yeah,
for
that's the
shot.
exact
Right,
saboteur
right,
shot. It's
right.
really, really well. Yeah,
Right.
the smile, the
Right.
catch,
Right,
the,
they went
this is
eyes. They got-
perfect.
right.
Sleeve.
yeah,
The
sleeve tearing.
tearing, right.
Now, when you and Dave Macon were watching Saboteur, is it true you cuddled?
Just at the end.
And this is an homage
There it is.
to the producers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gene Wilder says
yes,
it.
the producers, right.
Yeah. Homage, theft.
Theft.
Theft,
Yeah,
theft. We like the
outright
I prefer
theft.
the French term homage.
Yeah.
Just doing my job. I do, however, have a few questions. Yes? Your expense account shows you spent some time in New York City.
Yes.
Arlen's back in his
Yes.
cheap clothes.
Yeah.
So this was an actual miniature golf course,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right
that,
there.
Again,
And
that
water
Greg,
park.
that
Yeah.
Greg Keane
Right.
did over.
Yes.
So
And
all
he
the
does
American stuff.
Americana
And,
stuff,
and the
right.
miniature golf place wanted to keep a lot of the
Yes,
holes
right.
that we
Yeah.
designed.
I think
Right,
we gave
'cause-
them. I think we gave them the Statue of Liberty.
Well, that was the
That's
weird
right.
thing was their
Yeah.
holes were rather boring.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
well,
It
boring-
was
they had a-
mini golf, and it
they
was
had a
really
c-
just small shots.
They had a canoe, remember? Someone with a canoe.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, yeah, that was Lewis and Clark.
yeah, Louis
Yeah.
Clark, right.
You know, miniature golf is
And that's
not
a
what it
gag
is
I
in
always
the
like too. Is
States.
that's also the gag I like to the stealing the blanket
Yeah.
because you see all the one of those movies with the person in the blanket.
One of the only other reshoots comes up here at the
Ah, yes,
very
the
end.
very last
Right,
shot.
We saw,
right.
saw the only thing shot on American soil, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yes.
It was because we didn't have a crane shot at the time.
Right.
Right.
That was. You had a
Which is
crane
the
every
big-
day, but this day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I
used
actually
up
don't
the
think
crane
there
of-
may have been a crane. There was no room for
No, we
anything.
couldn't. We couldn't go up
Right,
without.
couldn't go
ambulance
up far
couldn't
enough.
even leave.
The ambulance
Right.
could only go 5 feet. That's right. It
And,
couldn't
and
leave.
if we went up, you would have seen off the golf course. Is what the problem.
Right.
Life is real. You know, I felt for the first time that I belonged somewhere.
See, you can tell it's an ambulance
Yeah.
because there's ambulance is written
You
right
know,
there on the side.
I'm also going to point out that on this day when we shot this dialogue, Jennifer and I were both unbelievably hungover. Because that night we'd gone up to that Italian restaurant and they kept giving us free liquor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They kept bringing
This
us
is Santa
bottles
Monica
and
now.
bottles.
This is the reshoot right,
Right.
here. Right.
And the lovely kiss at the end.
Right.
We didn't have this big kiss at the end,
And
did
I-
we?
No,
Or
but
this
we.
final gag.
Right.
The
we needed
final
that,
gag,
right.
The
But I also
narcolepsy.
want to point out I can handle my liquor. I wasn't hungover.
That's right.
I'd like to point out that Jennifer and I went out after we left that restaurant for
That's
several
right. That's
hours.
right. You walked around. That's right.
We
You
went
walked.
to other bars. We went dancing.
Dragged her out of the frame. I love that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Good job.
we
God,
wound up in a really
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's
a
great
great
watching
movie.
it with you guys. You know,
Yeah.
too bad we didn't give any information to
I
people.
know.
No, but-
But we had a good time.
Moby's on his way.
Jay, what's the word for whale that you used here? Listen. There's
Livery parfait.
there's a long
Buffet.
word for fishing.
Oh, ichthyologist.
Ichthyologist.
Yeah,
that's
fishing.
You work that into a
someone
rhyme.
who loves the fishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
Outpatient David Steinberg.
Oh, excellent. Good job. Well, David Steinberg, thank you for bringing to life a script that we all love so
Yeah.
I learned so much. I
Yeah.
did, actually.
Well, bringing to life a stillborn picture.
much.
No, it's not over
Everyone
yet.
who's watching it has enjoyed this.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
And it's and it's something we're all proud of.
Yes,
and,
we're all very
and
proud
I should
of.
think we should mention Greg Keane again.
Right.
Also,
Absolutely. Macon.
Macon,
Macon.
and Greg Keane, they were like part of the team all the way through.
Brilliant. And also that producer who kept trying to screw us everywhere we went.
Yeah. I can't
Martin Walters.
remember his
Martin
name.
Walters.
Yeah, Martin Walters, right, that guy.
He was the
Thank
guy.
him.
He was the guy I fought with about the shaky head. That
Right.
where I kept saying, "Well, I'm not going up it."
Right.
we don't have a lot of time.
Oh, and didn't Dave Macon's father shoot second team
He did.
on
He
the
shot
guns?
stuff, yeah.
The cops shooting back at Calm,
Right.
and they.
And also there was
Harry-
helicopter stuff or something.
Yeah, but that was Dave Macon's father, who was a cinematographer.
A legendary cinematographer, Harry Macon.
Yeah,
Right.
Harry
Yeah, he's
Macon.
wonderful.
He was a great guy.
And that's right. And then we hear this Moby's on his way.
Moby's on his
It was a
way.
Moby
Moby's on his
Dick.
The
As if
musical.
Moby Dick was a musical.
Yeah, right.
And now
and then
Another
Gangster
you
Bare
can
Naked
only
Lady.
get the
Rise.
full version of Gangster Girl here.
Yes.
So you can record this, convert it to MP3,
Right.
maybe burn
Yeah.
it to
Put
a
it up
disc.
there on the
Naked
internet.
Ladies,
Whatever
all
you
to
want.
have.
Better than that.
This is an unreleased Bare Naked Lady single.
Yep.
It's true. It's a rarity.
Yeah. Well, the movie's unreleased, the single's unreleased.
When we made this movie, I was more famous than they were.
That's true.
Yes, and I was more famous than you.
By the time the CD is released, it'll have vanished again.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah,
you were on that
who
little
knows?
news radio show.
Right.
Yes.
I was doing Ellen, which was pretty popular. at the
That's
time.
right. I was on the
That show was pretty big.
I was on the critically acclaimed news radio.
We had that critically acclaimed episode.
That's true.
Yeah. Boys, don't fight.
Right.
We were both on mediocre television shows.
Yeah, but I was the star of mine.
That's true. That's
If you ignored Phil Hartman.
Right.
Right, and the fact
And
that
then
he
John
was-
Lovitz after that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was just on 140 Tonight shows. But why quibble?
Right,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Well, thank you for
Thanks
watching.
for listening to
Thanks
us
for-
and
Yes.
indulge ourselves. I hope
And
it
this
wasn't too
thing,
obnoxious.
yeah, actually a lot of animals were harmed
No, more stuntmen were
in
harmed.
this film.